Ride with me. Today we'll be working on our first counter canter exercise. Let's start with a walk on a left 20-meter circle. We'll ask for light contact on the reins, and then we'll have the horse balance with our weight, and then we'll ask for a gentle bend to the left on this left 20-meter circle. Take your time. Since we're just starting to go into work, we'll want to give the horse plenty of time to settle into the rhythm. So let's go ahead and make a second circle and just make sure we have really nice, steady, consistent balance and bend on our circle. So you'll want to sit ever so gently to the outside, just enough that you have a tiny bit of extra weight in your outside seat bone, but not enough to initiate a leg yield. Just enough to keep the weight in the outside shoulder for the horse. Excellent. So as we finish the circle, let's go ahead towards the quarter line and we'll prepare a leg yield to the right. Just make sure as you're turning onto quarter line that you go several steps straight before you ask for your leg yield. That just helps keep the horse from anticipating all the time. So in your leg yield to the right, it will sit right and you'll gently open the right rein and your horse will leg yield steadily to the rail on the right. Excellent. Let's turn left down the center line. And we're using the center line today to change direction. It's good to mix it up. You don't always have to go across the diagonal. Sometimes it's nice just to make straight turns across the arena or down the center line. So when we get to the end of the center line, let's turn right. And we'll immediately circle right at the end of the arena, 20 meters. And this time we're asking for a nice right bend and balance on the circle. This is just to make sure the horse is bending nicely in both directions before we start anything more difficult. So we're just preparing the horse to have good balance in both directions. And as the horse comes into a nice balance, with you sitting ever so slightly to the outside to help the horse keep weight in the outside shoulder, at the end of the circle, we'll go towards quarter line, and this time we will leg yield to the left. So go a few steps straight, and then you'll sit left and open the left rein, and the horse will leg yield left all the way to the rail. And as your horse gets more used to this, you may find that you get to the rail by the time you get to the center. That's fine. On the next long side, let's do a shoulder in right. So as we come through the corner, we'll go a few steps straight, and then we'll sit with our weight to the left, and we'll turn and look with our shoulders to the right across the arena, and the horse will move into a nice right shoulder in. If you want more angle, just turn your upper body more and sit a little bit more towards the rail. Excellent. On the next long side, let's prepare for a haunches in right. So it's important in the haunches in that we sit perfectly evenly. So as we come to the long side, sitting evenly, bending the outside knee, so the outside heel is slightly back, and then we will maintain the inside flexion with the inside rein, and we're half halting the outside rein to create the hip coming in. And in the beginning, your horse may slow down for the haunches in. That's fine, that's normal. At the end of the long side, let's go ahead and turn right onto center line, and we'll ask for half pass right. So as we come onto center line, half pass right, tiny bit of haunches in position, followed by stepping now with your weight to your right seat bone and your right foot, and the horse will step right into right half pass. Good. On the next long side, let's do shoulder in left now. So as we come across the short side, we will prepare for our shoulder in left. So as we come through the corner, we will sit to the right to the rail, and then we will turn with our shoulders and look left across the arena with our horse. Remember, the more you turn, the more angle you'll get, but you'll also need to sit an equivalent amount to the outside seat bone to keep your horse traveling down the rail. If your horse is coming off the rail when you're turning, you're not sitting enough. Let's do haunches in left now on the next long side. So our weight is even. We're going to bend the outside knee and half halt the outside rein, and the inside rein maintains a gentle inside flexion. More half halting in the outside rein will create even more angle with the horse's hip coming to the inside. Excellent. When we get to the end, let's go ahead and turn left onto center line, and we'll go into left half pass to the wall. So as you come onto center line, ask again for your left hunches in, keeping the outside leg slightly bent. We'll step now with our weight into our left stirrup and left seat bone, and the horse will half pass to the left. If you find the shoulders getting too far in front, half halt with your right rein to slow the shoulder as it tries to go too far to the left. Excellent. It's a good warm up in our lateral work. So now we'll go into a trot transition and we'll circle right 20 meters at the end of the arena, asking for bend and balance. Since we just started trotting, we just want to make sure the horse is stable in the frame and the balance of our trot. This is a nice, steady, wanting to be collected trot today. And today we're going to start a shallow serpentine on the next long side. And we want the center of the serpentine to come out to quarter line. So we'll come from the corner to quarter line and then back to the corner of the same long side. Very good. This is preparation for the canter. Later when we do this at canter, it's the first counter canter exercise. On the next long side, let's do shoulder in right. So sitting left, turning our shoulders and looking right across the arena as we shoulder in down the long side. Very good. On the next long side, we'll do haunches in right. So sitting evenly across the short side, bending the outside knee through the corner, half halting the outside rein. Inside rein maintains the inside flexion. And we have a nice haunches in. Very good. On the next long side, let's do one more shallow serpentine out to quarter line. This is just to prepare the horse for the idea of the pattern before we do it at canter. It's important to repeat the pattern so they're really familiar with it. And we want to keep the same bend through the entire shallow serpentine because that's what we'll be doing at trot. So let's turn right down center line. And then we're going to have a halt on center line. So we'll come into a nice halt and we'll wait for a moment. When the horse is still, we can ask for several steps of rein back. Very good. And then we will trot forward and turn left. On the next long side, we'll do another shallow serpentine in this direction to quarter line, maintaining the left bend. So the second half of the serpentine is almost like a leg yield back to the wall because we're keeping the same bend. On the next long side, let's do our shoulder in left in this direction. So we'll sit to the right and we'll turn our upper body and look left. We have a lovely shoulder in down the long side. Very good. On the next long side, we'll do our haunches in left. And as we come through the short side, we're going to prepare by sitting evenly, bending the outside knee through the corner, half halting the outside rein. Inside rein maintains the inside flexion. If we want more angle, we will half halt more with the outside rein to get a nice haunches in. Very good. So we'll do one more preparatory shallow serpentine to quarter line on the next long side, maintaining the left bend. So the second half is almost like a leg yield. Very good. And this time when we get to the end of the arena, we're going to canter left lead. And immediately we're going to circle at the end of the arena 20 meters. So Canter left lead and then circle. We're just looking for a nice steady canter to develop on this circle before we go around the arena. So now that we have our steady canter, we're going to go down the long side and ask for our shallow serpentine to quarter line in canter. As we come towards the quarter line, we'll now sit and open the rein back towards the long side, and the horse will go back. Let's do that one more time. A shallow serpentine to quarter line. So we turn a little towards quarter line, and then we sit right and open the right rein. So it's kind of the idea of leg yield to get back to the long side. Very good. At the end of the arena, let's do a half circle of 20 meters left. And as we cross center line, we're going to come back to the trot, and then we'll canter right lead onto a half meter, 20-meter circle right. Very good. And as we come to the end of the arena, let's do a full 20-meter right-hand circle at the end of the arena to help the horse establish a good right lead canter. Excellent. And then as we come to the end of the circle, we'll head towards the long side where we will ask for the shallow serpentine to quarter line. So we turn towards quarter line. Very good. And then we sit left and open the left rein, and kind of the idea of leg yield back to the long side. Let's circle right at the end of the arena, 20 meters. Trying to just maintain a steady canter. We'll then ask for a downward trot transition, and then we'll take the diagonal and ask for a lengthened trot. And as we come to the end of the diagonal, we'll half halt up. Yes, so the horse doesn't slow too much, but just comes back to you. And then we'll ask for our walk transition, and then we'll praise the horse because they did a very good job. And we want to just make sure that they continue cantering forward when we practice this so that they don't start thinking they need to stop in the counter canter. So it's just lots of practice, practice, practice until the horse is comfortable in the balance of counter canter. Until next time, have a great ride.